Yeah.
Let's jump right into this.
As we normally do, to the land of the NFL. Biggest game of the week, one of the biggest games of the regular season. Jay, you had the Dallas Cowboys 4-1, looking like one of the best teams in football, headed to the dark side, Foxborough, to face Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
The
dark hood, Bill Belichick, and they come out with a 35-29 victory in overtime on a 35-yard touchdown pass from Dak to CeeDee Lamb. So, Jay, with that victory, Dallas goes to 5-1. And before this, Belichick had never lost to the Dallas Cowboys in his NFL coaching career. Did you know that?
Really? That's a nice little nugget.
Yeah. It's part of. I'll get to that a little bit later. But anyhow, they go away with a victory. So this Cowboys win against Bill Belichick. Is it fair or unfair to say that victory is a big deal?
Oh, it's fair to say it is because I forgot who mentioned this. I think it was Colin actually talked about this a little bit earlier today. But when you get to the playoffs, games are going to be closer. Closer scores, tighter situations. Defense are going to play tougher. A lot more evaluations going to be put in. You have a full season of tape to understand teams' tendencies. And so things get a lot more hectic when you get to the playoffs. You're going to have to squeak out wins like this. Squeaking out a win against a defensive mastermind like Belichick, that's a big deal. Dak was able to throw up those 445 yards against. I mean, the defense isn't that great, but they do always do enough to make you work for the points that you get. They made Dallas work for all of that. And that is what they need. And then the defense stepped up. Trayvon Diggs, Defensive Player of the Year. Write it down. It's period. Dog, pick six. Funny little nugget to add to this. You ready for it?
Yes.
Trayvon Diggs has more touchdowns than Stephon Diggs, his brother.
Ooh, so you know what? The next time they're at Thanksgiving dinner, it's probably still going to be the exact same story. He's just going to throw it at him. He won't be able to say nothing about it.
There's nothing he can say. Nope. But no, he does. He has 2 pick sixes this year where Stephon Diggs only has 1. So the younger brother has more touchdowns, and it's just good to see that Dallas has a defense that I'm not going to toot my own horn too much on this, but I saw coming from Dan Quinn and the way he does things. That, to me, their defense stepping up enough, even though they let the rookie quarterback didn't do that great. He had an okay game. Yeah. But they did a really good job of putting themselves in a position to help the offense win. That's a big deal. What you think?
I think it was a big deal. I think when you face a Bill Belichick defense, you know that defense is going to be disciplined. They're going to be well coached. Generally, the game plan is going to be one that, like you said, makes you work. That's going to take away one of your favorite things to do, or maybe your top 2 favorite things to do that helps your offense to run efficiently. So, despite that, going into hostile territory in a playoff-like atmosphere for Dak Prescott against a top 5 secondary, for him to go for 445 yards and 3 touchdowns in Foxborough, that's saying a lot because nobody does that to Belichick. Even though last week, I know Davis Mills in Houston threw for over 300, but nobody does what Dak did, including and especially completely fooling the secondary to hit CeeDee Lamb for that walk-in, taunt you as I go in touchdown to win the game.
It was between... So which one did you like the most this week? Going to throw in a different game into this one.
Okay.
The CeeDee Lamb taunt to the end zone or the Aaron Rodgers, I still own you?
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. See, I was raised, my father, in the Barry Sanders school of touchdown celebrations, which is no celebration at all. You throw it to the ref, you go back to the sideline. So I'm not on that end of the spectrum like he was, but I'm not on the other end where you taunt your opponent going into. I think that's poor sportsmanship in a way. So I'm more middle groundish. What Aaron Rodgers did, and his explanation was such that, he went for the touchdown, got it, and he said that, so he did his discount double check celebration. And he said when he looked into the stands, there was a Bears fan, probably as he's seen 1,000 times, giving him the double bird. So that's when he got up and said what he said. I can deal with that. I can do that, especially in the heat of the moment. Emotions are high. He just scored a big touchdown against a division rival. And he said he didn't remember exactly what he said. I probably won't remember what I said in that kind of a situation with my adrenaline through the roof. So I would go more Aaron Rodgers than CeeDee Lamb on that. But they were both pretty entertaining to watch.
It was. I go.
You're more CeeDee Lamb, aren't you?
I thought Rodgers was the most fun. I understood the CeeDee Lamb one, though. You got to remember, Jalen Mills played for the Eagles the last, 5-6 years. So he saw CeeDee Lamb all last year. They were jawing back and forth nonstop.
Right.
And then as rivals, because the Eagles and Cowboys fans hate each other. But then he went over to New England. So, it's good to rub a little bit in. Hey, you thought you went to the Empire and I still own you. It's a good combo.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, if Mills had been giving it to him all game long and like taunting him, then I'm all about payback. Like,
I think that's
that
what
is
it
one
is
thing
too.
I am about. I am about payback.
I think there was a lot of taunting going back and forth in that game. So overall, though, I think the Cowboys did what we expected. And by winning that, I mean they're 5-1, one of the tops in the NFC, tied for second in the division, in the conference or whatnot, leading their division. I did not realize that no one's won the NFC East back-to-back years since like mid 2000s.
Well, that's probably about to change. That's going to change.
Well, for the future, it is. I think Dallas has got this locked up. They don't have injuries again, but that was a win that Dallas needed, and I think they can hang their hat on it and say, once we get to these real hostile games, especially come playoffs, they should be all right.
Right. So.